Dear all, my name is Erna and I work as a policy person on social responsibility at Wageningen University Research, WUR in short. I work together with Joko Luttig, WUR's overall sustainability coordinator. It's an honor to be invited to present WUR's best practices in water management during the Green Metric International Workshop. Let me show you Wageningen Campus. The campus has several green areas with big buildings in the middle. The buildings Orion, Forum and newly built Aurora are entirely for education, including library and laboratories. University departments and research units are located in the lower buildings on the edge. Far left you see the greenhouses and the fields of Unifarm, the university farm. Wageningen University Research is a partnership of two organizations, Wageningen University and Wageningen Research. Parts of both work together in education, research and value creation. Wageningen University does education and fundamental research and is located in Wageningen, and Wageningen Research is more applied research aimed at life sciences and has several locations in the Netherlands. WUR's ambition on social responsibility is stated in the strategic plan and is in line with the mission of WUR to explore the potential of nature to improve the quality of life. Keywords are vitality and health, sustainable and healthy food, reducing food waste, circularity, and social responsible procurement. WUR broadened its sustainability policy to corporate social responsibility, CSR in short. To work on the WUR ambitions, an agenda with CSR topics was formulated. The current CSR agenda contains 17 themes that are important for our internal and external stakeholders. The themes are roughly split in two. 7 are connected to research and education. The others are linked to our operations and do cover governance, human resources, and care for the environment. Each CSR theme can be linked to one or more sustainable development goals. Water or water management is not a separate theme of the CSR agenda. However, it is part of the topic climate adaptive environment. This theme is directly linked to SDG 13, climate action. Furthermore, water as a theme is also linked to SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, and SDG 14, life below water. Sustainable water management is linked to climate adaptivity. However, because care for the environment is concerned, good water management is a part of the sustainable operational policies and practices. The effects of climate change, such as droughts and rising sea water levels, affect freshwater supplies. On Wageningen Campus, we focus more and more on water absorption and retention. Also, efficient water use is increasingly important. WUR aims to reduce consumption of tap water every year by increasing water use efficiency and switching to sources other than tap water. And we try to make use of our own expertise as much as possible. The amount of extreme rainfall with severe consequences is increasing in the Netherlands. In the past few years, we had to deal with flooding after heavy rainfall. However, drought is maybe even the most urgent water-related problem that we are currently facing. Wageningen University Research studies the causes of heavy rainfall and droughts on the environment and society and is looking for solutions to these phenomena. Examples are creating green spaces in the urban environment to ensure that water can be drained and that space for the storage of water is created. Not only because the number of heavy rains is increasing, also because there are longer periods of drought. On WUR Campus, where possible or relevant, these principles are applied. The built-up area on Wageningen Campus has expanded rapidly in the past few years. Still, there is a sizable area of green space, as shown in this picture. As the campus serves as a groundwater discharge area, space is needed for the storage of excess water. For this reason, large ponds were created. The ponds and ditches with sluices are connected to the ecological water system of the city of Wageningen. Buildings at Wageningen Campus have two separate sewage systems, one for wastewater and one for rainwater. Wastewater will go from the campus sewage to the municipal sewage. Rainwater is collected from the roofs of the buildings and is discharged into the ditches and the ponds on campus. Rainwater, coming from roads and parking areas, also flow towards the surface water on campus. At some places, rainwater is collected in street vents to be transported to the surface water via pipes. As already mentioned, Wageningen Campus has a large area of green space. Benefits of green space are biodiversity conservation, reduction of urban heat effect, and other health and recreational benefits for students and employees. There are various types of vegetation on campus. Several natural gardens have been created. In addition, there are areas with short-mowed grass, flowery meadows, various trees, and shrubs. The large ponds have an important role in the water management system. Water from rainfall and seepage is collected and stored in the ponds. Buildings have a separate sewage system for rainwater, as I already mentioned, and also WUR aims at a yearly reduction of water consumption. In the following slides, I will highlight a few best practices. On the eastern part of the campus, a natural garden was laid out in 1998. In 2016, a natural wetland garden was added near the Atlas building. As groundwater seeps to the surface, this garden is wet. The intention is to bring back some of the vegetation formerly found in the local area, blue grassland. The central feature is an old stream that has been dug up. A new pond was created in 2021 to store excess water on the west side of the campus. For the new education building Aurora, loss of open water had to be compensated. The pond is connected to the ditches on the campus as a reservoir for excess water. The pond will probably lay dry for large parts of the year. A small puddle of seepage water is visible in the center. In two campus buildings, rainwater is harvested for flushing toilets and watering in their gardens. In these buildings, Gaia and Lumen, rainwater is harvested from rooftops and stored in underground water tanks. In 2019, a material flow analysis was carried out by a group of students as an input for our policies on circularity. Also, water inflow and outflows for Wageningen Campus were analyzed. Laboratories account for over 60% of the water use in wastewater, as shown in the picture. 23% of the tap water is used for toilet flushing. The remaining streams are water for toilet sinks, restaurants, cleaning and drinking water. This is a useful first step to identify flows that can be optimized. A further step would be to apply an urban harvest approach. Total water use by WUR has decreased significantly over the years, in spite of the growth of the organization, as shown in this figure. We mapped out the trend of water consumption and the number of staff for the period 2005 up to 2021. As a result of the corona pandemic, in 2020, water use decreased in office and educational buildings due to the lower occupancy rates, caused by several lockdowns, hybrid working, and online education. This trend stabilized in 2021. Reduction of drinking consumption is a target at WUR. An exemption is the use of tap water for drinking. Drinking tap water is encouraged. Tap water in the Netherlands is of excellent quality and relatively cheap, so it's good for your health, and compared to the use of bottled water, it is better for the environment. No plastic bottles are needed and there is less transport involved. However, it's just a small part of the total water use on campus. Some concluding remarks. There is plenty of evidence around the world that heat waves, heavy rainfall, hurricanes and periods of drought will become more frequent. This stresses the urge for a sound water management strategy. At Wageningen Campus, we will keep on working on the use of green and blue space for water absorption and the urgency to limit water consumption. The starting point for our strategies is to look for solutions that have multiple benefits. A campus with sufficient green and blue space that absorbs the water helps to prevent flooding, is beneficial for biodiversity, and provides a pleasant, healthy working space for employees and students. Given future challenges, it is necessary to critically assess the role for the campus in climate adaptation. The main question is Wageningen Campus climate-proof now and in future? We are planning to do a stress test to assess this. Based on literature research, interviews and fieldwork, a quick scan will be made of the additional measures that are needed for a climate-adaptive campus. As water is relatively not that expensive in the Netherlands, the incentive to reduce water consumption comes solely from the ambition to reduce our ecological footprint. In new buildings, it is possible to apply water-saving technologies that should be standard procedure. For existing buildings and the campus as a whole, it's worthwhile to further explore the urban harvest approach. Freshwater sources are increasingly under pressure, even in a water-rich country like the Netherlands. As freshwater is extremely important, every drop counts. Thank you for watching our presentation on the best practices in water management at Wageningen University and Research.